Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Mommy Loves to Read. I'm Olivia and thank you for joining me today. So I don't know if you can notice, but I am in a different area today. I have been super busy this week and I just have not found the time to film this video whenever I have been home, whether it's been like I've been busy doing stuff with my kids or I'm just tired, whatever it is. So today I had about an hour in my car before I needed to be where I'm going. So I was like, you know what, let me pull out my phone and film this video real quick of this book that I just read. So here I am today to give you a review of this really great book I just read. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So the book that I am talking about is, drum roll please, Speaking of Summer. Can we, do you see this cover? It's so beautiful. This is just the cutest cover ever. This is actually what drew me to this book, is this cover. I saw this cover and I was like, I have to read this book. And then I read the synopsis and I found out it was about twins. And I don't know if you know, but I am a twin mom. I have twin boys. So I was like, you know what? This book is meant for me, and I'm so glad that I picked this book up. So let me tell you a few things about this book. Like I said, the name of the book is Speaking of Summer, and it's by Kaliah Buchhanon. This is my first time reading anything by her, so I'm definitely gonna look up her other books because this one was really good. Also, I'm sorry if you can see the glare because the sun, it's really sunny today. But anyways, like I said, this is my first time reading a book by her, and I'm really glad I did. This book has about 291 pages, so it's not a super long book, but it's not a super short book. This book it was like 20 chapters, and then the book is broken into 4 sections. So it's winter, fall, spring, and summer. Those are the 4 sections of the book. And what I really liked about this book is it touched on a lot of issues. It's written like now, in our day, so it actually has references to a lot of things that have been going on in our world as far as like the president and things that have been in media. So I like that because I felt like I could really relate. And it also touched on a lot of issues that we face as women, if you are a woman who's in a minority. It also touched on some issues of like mental health and family drama / issues, and kind of like what can be the implications of that if it's never dealt with, how that can affect you in your adult life, and how that kind of affects how you live your life. So the book is about a girl named Autumn and her twin sister Summer. They live in Harlem, New York together. They share an apartment. And on December 20th, Summer goes up on their roof to get some fresh air, and she never comes back. And they have kind of like no leads on what happened to her. No one knows what happened. She just went up there and she kind of disappeared into like thin air. It's like she was never there. And so it's following the journey of her sister Autumn as she's trying to find her sister, and she kind of feels like everyone else has moved on with her life. She has a boyfriend and she's kind of like, he's starting to move on. Like, yes, he's there for me, but he's not understanding. Her mom has died, so she has no other family that's living. It's just her. All her family lives away from her in another state. She has a neighbor who's really sweet and who's there for her, but she kind of even feels like her neighbor is moving on. And she has like a best friend too, but her best friend has like 2 kids and she's married. So once again, she just feels like everyone is kind of giving up on this search. And the detective in this book, his name is Detective Montgomery. He's been helping her throughout this search, but she's even kind of starting to feel like, you know what, he's not in it to win it anymore. He's kind of like, we haven't had any leads. It's been 6 or 7 months. Like, everyone is telling her maybe Summer just went away. She's a grown adult. Like, maybe she just wanted a fresh start in life. That's why she left. And so throughout this book, I'm trying to tell you about the book without giving any spoilers. Anyways, throughout this book and throughout her journey, you realize the events surrounding Summer's disappearance. That's how we'll say it. And it has a lot to do with things that happened in their childhood. So you learn about their childhood. They grew up in a small town in, I believe it was Illinois. And their father died when they were about 5 in a motorcycle accident. And so it was just her mom, and her grandmother that lived together for a while. And then her mom got a new boyfriend, and he kind of became like a live-in boyfriend. And there was some abuse and things that happened when he came into their life. And this story kind of is telling you how those things that happened to her with the mom's boyfriend affected her and Summer through the rest of their life. And it pretty much is what caused Summer's disappearance. and it's showing how Autumn deals with that and all the things that she comes to terms with once she realizes that a lot of what she's dealing with now with Summer's disappearance and kind of the emotional toll it's taking on her is less about Summer's disappearance, and it's more about trauma that she had as a child that she did not deal with. And because she didn't deal with it, now it's kind of starting to affect her in her adult life. And that's all I'm going to say, because if I say too much, I'm going to give it away, and I want you guys to read it. So yes, this was a really, really good book. I really loved it. Like I said, I love the way she wrote it, the way it was put together. I loved all the characters in the book. They were all awesome. And like I said, I love the issues that it touched on. It touched on mental health issues. It touched on issues that we experience as women, as minorities, and all those things like that. So it really is one of those books where, yes, it is a mystery. So you're like trying to read to find out what happened to Summer. But it's also a book that makes you stop and think. Like, you stop and think about, like, wow, you know, I see like what people deal with on a daily basis, or wow, I see like that person is being treated this way because of this. A lot throughout the story, she keeps making the analogy to people like, if Summer was a wealthy white woman, you guys would put a lot more care into looking for her and trying to figure out what happened with her case, and kind of just, instead of just blowing her through the back burner. So she's dealing with a lot of that too, feeling almost like no one cares about her sister and what happened to her sister because of the fact that she is African American, and because they are, I wouldn't say they're poor, but they're not, you know, super rich either, you know. So like I said, it's just a really good book. I definitely think you guys should definitely pick this up. I think you will love it. And then, I mean, look at this cover. It's so cute. It's so beautiful. So I think you should definitely pick this book up and check it out. And thank you guys so much for joining me today on this review. I'm sorry if it's a little shaky today. Like I said, I'm in my car because this is the only time I had to record it. But comment down below and let me know if you have read any books by this author. Let me know if you've read this book so we can talk about it down below. Like I said, I hope it didn't seem like I wasn't really giving you a lot of information about the book, but it's like I don't want to spoil it. So if you have read this book, let's talk about it down below. And until next time, bye. And thank you guys for joining me.